Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rahmat Empowerment Wala here, welcoming you in my platform, my podcast, Empowering Minds. I hope you are all better in your health and in your mood also, because good mood brings us happiness. So today with us, there's Nathan Raymond, who has joined us from Japan, and I'm really thankful, Nathan, that you have joined us. He's from New York, but he has been living in Japan, and he's a brand development consultant. He's a communication skill coach. He used to be an English teacher in Japan, but he realized that nobody speaks English in Japan, so he changed his way of thinking and way of earning, I guess. So he's also a YouTuber, and he's doing amazing things at the moment. So we would learn about what he has been doing and what he's doing right now. So let's welcome Nathan. Hi, Nathan. How are you today?
Hey, hello, Raymond. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for asking. And thank you for showing your appearance in Empowering Minds. I'm really obliged for.
It's a great introduction. I liked it.
Thank you so much. Just learned from
Yeah,
you.
yeah, perfect.
So I was behind the camera. I was telling Nathan that I really admire his way of speaking English, the way he speaks, the slowly he speaks. He doesn't chew the words like most native English speakers do. I don't know if they
Mm.
brag in front of non-native people or not, but he really speaks very well English, in a way that non-native persons get to understand what he's speaking. So I really admired that behind the camera also, and now I'm admiring it in front of the camera, in front of live session. So Nathan, I've introduced you a little bit. So would you like to add something to your introduction, so me and my audience get to know you a bit better?
Right. Well, let's not forget that we are dealing with the post-corona time where they shut down tourism and people were thinking about things. So that's where I had my YouTube channel before, but when we couldn't travel, I wanted to provide travel through my phone, and all of us can do that. And no, that was a good introduction. Oh, so speaking English too is that we are speaking in the context of an English class, even if we're not in an English class. Life is the English class, and we need to take the education out of a classroom, which is a fake world, and bring it outside the classroom into the community, welcoming travelers. And this is real education.
Definitely a practical one, I guess. Out of the
Yes,
books and out of the schools, the practical knowledge.
exactly, exactly.
Wonderful. So Nathan, you are basically from New York, right? But you have been living in Japan. So how did you landed in Japan, and then you realized that you have to live there?
So it's all about the mindset. And yes, I'm from New York, but not New York City. 2 hours in the countryside. And when you live in the countryside, but New York City is close. So imagine a countryside person and a New York City person, totally different. But New York City people and everybody's telling you, oh, New York, you live in New York, the best, the most richest city. So every time you're hearing this, it's like shaping your mind. But I have to be honest, I am not a city person, but when you go to the city, you're seeing, yes, very international people from every country. I really like that. But when you're in the city, it's a fake world. And we need this balance between countryside and city side. So if you come to New York, you're going to see New York City, but you're also going to see the countryside. And since you are a human, there is a way that we need you. So if you come to the city, there's a way that you could match to somebody in the countryside, and then there's some way you could match to someone in the city, and you become the one who brings the countryside and the city side person together, so that together they have this travel experience of people to be in the city but be in the countryside. Because if you're only in the city, all you have is money. It's very expensive. But in the countryside, we can do work. We can have real meaningful education. But our work is as a YouTuber, where we're visiting 12 categories of video, of business, and making a virtual tour that we're sharing. And you're saying, this is Raymond. I'm in New York. Look at these places. And if you come here, you have this educational experience, and your video is showing it as the proof. And they buy this travel from you. And I also just got an e-commerce platform that I saw an online offer for. So I'll have an e-commerce site, and anybody can connect to this e-commerce site as affiliate, so that we are helping people be digital nomad through multiple ways of earning money and showcase value through your YouTube channel.
Wonderful, Nate. I want to, know more about Japan through your eyes. So, would you walk us through Japan? How's the life
Right.
there? And I'm also a very much admirer of food of different cuisines. So, tell me about something about Japanese food. I heard that it is very tasteless, and they usually boil the things and they eat just boiled food. But I would love to listen from you.
No, well, so that's one of the things that we are going to definitely be teaching people about food. I read this book when I was first in Japan, showing how many of these Japanese foods, they have a historical significance back before we had modern medicine. The food was the medicine. So daikon, which is their radish, which we are definitely grinding and using soy sauce and using that to be, okay, then we have shiso leaves, which are, they have a property. So daikon has got the calcium. Shiso leaf, if you do it, you can go to sleep, but you could also wake up. And, umeboshi, they're pickles. And macrobiotic food, where assigning food either a positive or a negative charge, deep rooted in Buddhism. And so that is a thing too, is how when you're in Japan, is that there's a deep root of Buddhism, but also Shinto. And the way they behave is religious, but they don't call it religious. They call it cultural. But that's the thing about what we call something has many different meanings. So when I say Japanese are not religious, but for all intents and purposes, they are religious, it just means that when they do things, like, for example, when you enter a room, you take off your shoes. Before you eat, you say itadakimasu. But itadakimasu is not something that is spiritual, like people pray before eating, like they worship God. It just means I'm eating now. So they're acting in a way that's religious, but they're not conscious that they're religious. And that's one of the things we're working with. There's a consciousness, there's an unconsciousness. Facebook, the consciousness is people are expressing themselves, but unconsciously, they're giving all their personal details, and Facebook is making all the money from it. But if you say to somebody, hey, you're producing data, share your data with me, you don't talk like that. You just have a conversation with someone. If you say, give me your data, share it with me, they'd probably run away from you and block you. And it's so weird how with humans, it's like dating. Like if you say to a girl, like, hey, I want to get married and have kids with you, she will run away. But if you're just smooth about it, and it's the same way with our social conversations, is that there's something we want, but we cannot get there too quick. We have to go the step by step with people. And when you first meet someone, you know, but look at us. We met and now we're on a podcast. This is what we want with people. We want to speak with them. We want to get people, if we go through a podcast, there's something we're doing that's real. It's not just the words, it's the interaction. But we prepare ourselves for maybe a speed meeting event and making YouTube videos to be more social and to shape the conversations we're going to have for collaboration.
Wonderful. So basically, you were saying that sugar coating things would help us.
Yeah, it can. Also, everybody wants money. Okay, so it's like you have to have a way of saying people basically, I'll pay you. But again, I'll pay you is something like, okay, we want to collaborate because we both have two pieces of the puzzle and we're creating a smart contract. So you'll make money, but I don't pay you, but we together we could do something that we could get paid and split the money. And that needs to be something that people know is possible, because everybody who you meet, they have something on their mind, like, I want to make money or something like that, right? And somehow we are accelerating what they want. And when you take a problem in life that you faced and you have the solution, now you can help someone. So in my situation, my life situation, I'm in Japan. And I've been here a long time. And if you come here, I could accelerate the development in Japan to have people to go, places to go, people to see, a network. But for me to develop this network in Japan, it took a long time. But
Won- Wonderful.
yeah.
Okay, one more question about Japan, and then we will move towards your
Okay.
personal question. Because as tell you about myself, I'm a person with disability, so I really don't go much outside of my house. But I
Wow.
really want to know about the world, the different places, the different countries, different cultures.
Okay.
So through my guest perspective, I like to walk through their perspective at the different places of the world. So
Right.
I really like to know the places where they are living, they have been living. So by doing that, I tend to know about different cultures, different places. So one more question about Japan. As I know a bit about Japan, the you were talking about traveling vlogs and virtual travels to different places. So there's also a vlogger
Mm-hmm.
called Omar in Japan. I know if you have heard him about or not. So he's Pakistani, but has been living in Japan for 22, 23 years. So I watch his vlogs on daily basis, and he talks too much, and he talks much about Japan, and I get to know about Japan through his vlogs. Last question
Mhm.
is, as a foreigner, how difficult it is for someone to go to Japan and used to their culture, their food again, and how they used to live. So how difficult it was for you?
Right. So the whole thing about Japan is that it costs a lot of money if you come here. That if you were to come here and you were to go to school, there's many places set up for if you have money. But if you want to come to Japan but you don't have money, there is a way that I think you could come and get sponsors to come with you. And when it comes to me, when you meet a foreign person in Japan, you can have an English conversation with them. And that is what we need to do if we are offering English conversation. And we are also just like you said you're interested in the world. Japanese people are interested in the world, and you have information that would get their attention where you're teaching them about your world. And if we had you as an ambassador, a goodwill ambassador, that is also connecting handicapped people, because I live in a place in New York where I was with the handicap for growing up, and we have a number one place that is, you know, it represents the way to have a world where people who are handicapped can also live. And that's what we're doing, is the way we're showing the world and meeting people is a new way that the world needs a connection and is open for joining people. So that's all I will say in Japan, is that we need someone to introduce you. And if someone doesn't introduce you, the only people that will meet you are people with money. But then you only are meeting the people with the business. And we need the social business that is uniting you with the whole community. They all want to share with you, but they're following the rules every day. And they can't just meet somebody that they don't know unless someone introduces them. And yeah,
So what you are
that's
saying is learning Japanese language is a prerequisite visiting Japan, right?
no, because okay, they need okay, in a way, yes, but we have phones that have Google Translate on them. So
Yes.
you're always better off writing something down anyway. And if you really need, but in many situations, you can also see, if I know you're coming, I can help you reach out to people who are Japanese, but they want to improve their English, and they need a real English speaker that doesn't speak Japanese. But the reason they know you is not just that. Now they know you also are making a virtual tour for educational tourism. So we are a school. And in Japan, if I have a school, everybody will join and they trust. They don't, but if you have a business, everybody is so nervous, and they're they don't want to spend money. So it's like, but in education, they spend money. So
Okay. So talking about education and English language, there's always a
Mhm.
question in my mind that I have heard and seen that many English teachers from native English countries, they go to China, they go to Japan, they go to non-native English speaking countries, and they try to teach how to speak English. But as an
Right.
English teacher, you don't you think that you have to know their native language in order to teach them English? Because you have to, translate that English into their native language, right? in order to understand them.
Right. See, but that is what these English schools do. The English schools provide the system so someone who doesn't speak Japanese can just follow the system. And if you don't speak Japanese, then Japanese people are so polite, they will try to speak English to help you. But if they know you speak Japanese, they don't put the effort. They're like, he understands. And so it's all psychological of what goes into something effective. But I tell you, it is a big industry in Japan, the English education industry. There's been a big English school called Nova that was once so rich and then it went out of business and they came back, but still I'm saying there is people are hungry for a new way to learn English, and we could offer the matching app digital transformation of English school that connects people. And so that has got to be our focus. That's what we will do.
Wonderful. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Wonderful. Sometimes it happens that my voice stop transferring, so I tend to
Right.
ask my guest so if they can hear me or not. So uh, speaking about English, so I think if what my experience is, if there's a last resort that you have to speak certain language, then you would learn that language in 3 or 6 months, I guess. If you provide that certain environment where the last resort to speak that language, then I think people are very intelligent to learn any language. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about how to get the highest potential of the human. And what I see is that Japanese people are in a group, but we have to get them away from the group, because also when they're in a group, they don't want to make a mistake in front of other people. But if they can be with you in some place away from the group, then you get their real communication. And these speed meeting events are perfect. So, anybody out there, right? We want a speed meeting operator using Zoom. And that is something that I'm working hard to get. Um, and
Uh,
anybody, yeah.
Yes, Nathan, I've heard that from you, speed meeting network. So this term is new for me. So I would love to learn more about that. So could you tell us what is this speed meeting events?
So in Japan, they have something called a gokon, where for marriage, you'll have like 10 guys, 10 girls, and each one is speaking with each one for 3 minutes. And when you do this, people know better who they want to date. But in this case, we're not thinking of dating for a relationship that way, but this is very similar of kind of dating. But that separation of dating where our marriage life, our freelance life, our work life, our school life, our social life, all these different attentions, we're dividing our time, and our collaboration conversations is for relationships where we can stay focused, because our freelance dream and our business and our passion, we kind of mix everything. And instead, when I connect, okay, so when a Japanese person and foreign person, they speaking, that Japanese person is introduce themselves, say hello, my name is, I'm doing this job. My dream is to do this, right? This is a very good practice for them to communicate. But when we are speaking with Japanese people, we're more like English conversation partners, like teachers. And we know we're helping them with English. But as we go the steps, we're also getting information we need to create our freelance entrepreneurship where we are getting a training of Japanese companies and connecting with people to make international networks and creating startups that are made up of, you know, companies from Japan, but anybody's welcome to join and, start startups.
Wonderful, amazing, amazing thing
Yeah.
you have. That I hope you get the results what you are expecting from these.
Yeah. I'm going to New York May 28th to propose this New York collaboration. But May 10, I'm going to a Japanese business networking event to ask Japanese companies to sponsor my school, and I will train their workers so that their workers can go to different countries to start new businesses.
Okay.
And
So, what is the idea
I'm
behind your school you are talking about?
right. The digital transformation of people to be digital nomads and incorporating that into business. And Japan just approved a digital nomad visa in April. So now people know you can come to Japan as digital nomad, but only 20% of people know about that. And 100% of people need to know about this. But how? So we have it with tourism. If people travel to visit me and experience it, then this digital transformation will transform you. So now you are sharing your information with Japan and also sharing your information with your location and being a bridge. Um, there's an office called Jetro, which if I connect a Japanese business and you go to your chamber of commerce and get a business and we introduce them, Jetro supports them to create exporting from Japan to your country. And then we turn your country into producer. So
So, do you have any plans to visit Pakistan also?
that's what I'm trying to. And I already did virtual tours for people in Pakistan. So to visit Pakistan, I need 20 people to get on a speed meeting event. And this will generate the communication for people to develop plans. So it's not just me visiting, but I'm visiting in a group. And
Okay,
we're bringing with us a festival of and we're setting up an event so people from Pakistan who want to join and they can join, and we start startups. And
wonderful.
yeah, I
Hopefully,
think it'd be great.
it would happen in near future, right?
Yes, and if Japanese companies support me, then I feel I can get the way that we are getting scholarships for you to travel and getting venture capital to pay for your travel, because your travel to Japan can make a lot of people money if we do the right way. But the way the travel business is looking, if you want to travel to Japan, they want you to pay. But if you pay, your experience is not good because um, you're very lonely, right? Nobody wants to talk to you because they don't know you. But when we gather a big group and people are pay a little bit, everybody pays a little bit and brings you to Japan, they all want to talk to you, to make video, and your videos are making their education. Before people travel to Japan, they watch your video so they can meet somebody and they know something about them because they saw it in your video, and it's helpful.
Can you hear me, Nathan?
Yes, yes.
Your video stuck for a bit, I guess.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So I didn't know that they give scholarship to visit Japan. How can I apply for that? I would love to.
So that's what I'm saying, is that I will help you get a scholarship to Japan. I
Wow.
will You and I are creating a startup, and our startup, we will take action to generate money.
Okay.
And then when we generate money, we tell the venture capital that we generated money, and they will give us money now because we can grow it. And that's uh,
Wonderful. Do you have
yeah,
5-10 minutes more for me, or if you are in a hurry?
sure, sure,
Sure.
no
Wonderful. Thank you
problem.
so much. Thank you so much,
Yep.
Nathan. Because I asked you for 30 minutes and now it's 32 minutes we have been live, and 15 to 20 minutes we talked earlier. So I thought that you have some other stuff to do. So it's so kind of you that you are giving me more time. So you have been an English teacher, you are a communication skill coach, you are a brand development consultant also. So what do you love most about your work or what you do professionally, and why do you love that?
So I do think that in my heart, I'm more into the social aspect of speaking with people, and I notice some people, they're more into the technical aspect, and I do think that there is a mix. I'm sorry, but I have to. Yes. I had to let my son in.
No
So
issues.
there is a
Take your time.
mix. Yeah. Okay. So I do have a social part of me where I do want to use the human resources skill to, do that, not what you know, but who you know. Make things personalized. Every movie you've ever seen, like Star Wars, it have to do with the hero, and even the Bible or the story of Buddha. So personalizing about our information, because when we follow your story, then we could see things through your point of view. And that's the only real way to bring people into a meaningful change. And people look at our world and say things like, "Oh, I wish the world would change," but you cannot change the world, and you can only change yourself. But nobody wants nobody wants to change. They want other people to change. But if someone just created a system where your school, your freelance life, like you're studying to do that, and it does create a change in you. It make you more aware, more valuable, more knowledgeable of solutions you can give. If I talk to you and you tell me about what you want, and I know somebody who has the thing you want, and I connect you to them, it just saves you the time, saves the trouble. And that is just, we need more of these systems, but they don't just happen. Someone has to make them. Someone has to live a life where, by telling you my story, it makes it so we get into another world that is leading to the solution. And you and I, speaking this way, we can be that connection that, you know, hey, I know Ramat in Pakistan, let me introduce you. You need somebody, somebody to work with.
Wonderful. So it's all about networking and great use of networking, right?
Yes, it is all about that. It is all about
Wonderful. Learning quite a bit from you for the last 36 minutes.
that.
Thank you so much, Nathan, for your wonderful time and your wonderful conversation I'm having with you. Lastly, I would ask you, what do you love about most being in Japan? Like their tourist places, their food, their culture, their people.
Yeah, I think in Japan, I like that everything is so, well, we say cohesive, but I'll tell you what it is that Japan, when I talk about the right brain, the left brain, okay? When I say in America, it's like a Hollywood movie, is that people are doing things based on how they feel. But in Japan, it's a system, it's a left brain system where systems design, like people are not going by how they feel, they're following a pattern. And it's just two different ways of functioning in a society. But that is why Americans, if they come to Japan, they don't like it because it doesn't work the same way America does. But there's certain words we have, right? We think of the word bully, like bullying, like using your force against somebody and pushing people to get what you want. But there's a total different way when you turn yourself into a magnet, and instead of pushing yourself, people are coming to you because you're doing it in a way that's educational. So I'm not motivating you because I'm paying you, but I'm motivating you because you're curious. And that is what I think is this intelligent way we're living life, where we're appealing to our minds and the pursuit of knowledge. And it just so happens that on that pursuit, we can also get paid. But the way you do it is you feel like it's points in a video game. So simulation game, you think of Sim City or Pokemon Go or Minecraft, where now these are popular. And if we're in like a metaverse, think of having a VR headset on and you are moving to different places to, each place you move, you're collecting something where you're gathering all the pieces to make the complete picture to show people a cohesive experience that if they watch it, it's like they're experiencing it for themselves. And yeah, so I really think it's what we call ethical hacking of using the mind and hackers make us more intelligent because uh, there are difference of people who are hacking and people who are spending money. People who are spending money, they're using money for everything. So security, they're putting private information on the internet and paying money to protect it. But a hacker is not looking for this type of security. They're looking to share things. The internet was designed to share. So it's put in our favor, where you can share things for free. And but this creates the relationship for long-term sharing to build something even bigger that becomes our company, basically. And
Wonderful, Nathan. Thank you so
yeah,
much for this wonderful conversation. And
yes,
I really appreciate your valuable time and the pearls of wisdom you have shared with me and my audience. Thank you so much. I hope you liked it and you have a great time.
yes. I see you soon. We meet soon. You
Thank you
know,
so much, Nathan.
so yeah, so much I want to say, but I know we cannot speak forever. But
If
anybody
anything
who
left,
want to
like,
speak more,
if any
yeah.
point left to be, if any stone left unturned, you can turn that stone. The time is yours.
Yeah, well, I know great English. I love it to hear it. And yeah, we're anybody who wants to collaborate with the things I've said and do freelance and be in English, be a teacher. Teach what you know. And based on this, we want to hear from you as an ambassador. Join our speed meeting events, find out about our blockchain and our app, and we can reach a higher level of awareness together. And that's what I say.
So if someone
Yeah.
wants to collaborate with you or reach out to you, how can someone do that?
So they're hearing it from you, Ramat. You are the one who I'm collaborating with. And they just have to say to you that they want to do something. We'll get on a podcast, three of us at the same time. And we keep building. The more people who are joining, and we will have a speed meeting event where in 1 hour you will meet 20 Japanese people and we'll create collaboration.
Wonderful, Nathan.
Yeah.
All the best for your for this event and all the ventures you are working hard on them. All the best.
Yeah. I appreciate talking to you, Ramat. Thank you.
Thank you, Nathan. So, ladies and gentlemen, you were listening and watching Nathan Raymond. I hope you liked this session as much as I did. I'll see you the next time with next guest. Keep doing amazing things. Have a great time. Bye bye.
See you.